Zach Ferreira and Larry Prelog.
Yep.
So how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. It's been a long couple weeks since we were last here doing this.
Yeah?
You and I don't really enjoy editing all that much.
It's been a struggle, but we're pushing through.
And unfortunately, this requires a ton of editing. We keep having to call on his friend Josh to help us out, so he's come in clutch a lot for us, so shout out to him.
He's the MVP.
Oh my god, it has been a wild ride trying to get stuff cranked out.
So, man, if you could have dinner with any NHLer who's active right now, who would it be?
Dinner with any NHLer that's active right now. What kind of dinner?
Oh, steak dinner. And if you want, I can go first too.
And are they paying?
Absolutely. I mean, they got millions of dollars, most of them, so.
Current or
Yeah, current.
playing right now? I would have to say that's hard.
I know. You want me to go first?
I'm gonna say Chris Kreider.
Chris Kreider, baby.
Chris Kreider, yeah.
Good choice, man.
Yeah,
New York Rangers.
that's right.
He the captain?
No, he's. I don't even think he's an
Oh,
alternate.
Trouba's your captain.
Trouba's the captain. Yeah, Kreider's either. I think he's an away captain, if I remember correctly.
Oh, gotcha.
So they switch up.
Yeah.
For
So
home
why would
games.
you have dinner with him?
I don't know. He just seems like fun.
Yeah?
He just seems like a lot of fun.
Is he like a goofball?
I feel like he's a goofball
Big
too.
goofball energy?
I think he has big goofball energy.
What kind of food would you ask him to get you?
Well, you said steak, so
Yeah, you're right. But maybe you'd be like, yeah, I want sushi.
get surf and turf, get some lobster.
Yeah.
Some lobster and steak.
Absolutely, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I think for me, I go with Nazem Kadri.
Okay.
He's just such a hockey player, dude. Like, grit, you know.
Mhm.
I love his energy. I just read his book that just came out recently.
Okay.
And man, I was really impressed. I mean, I'd love to sit down and talk to him about like growing up as a Muslim, first Muslim or Arab hockey player, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he's hilarious. He's got everyone, like a lot of people hate him, but a lot of people
Yeah.
love him. So he's got that kind of vibe where it's like just classic, like gritty hockey player, you know.
Steak.
You know, I think since he's from Lebanon, I'd love to have, because in the book he
Sure.
talks about like the great food there. I just want him to take me to like his favorite spot,
There you go.
but he's from London, Canada.
Okay.
So, all right, man. What do you think? Should we dive in?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Absolutely, man. So today we're gonna be covering like our top 3 favorite NHL hockey players, and it can be all time. We're gonna do at least one active one.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you just kick us off, man?
So is this in any particular order or no?
Yeah, I was going like 3, 2, 1, but you can go however you want, man.
3, 2, 1. Man, that's harder.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it whichever way you want, bro.
All right. So I'll start off by saying my 3 are all defensemen.
Yeah.
2 of them are currently not playing. 1 of them is currently playing. And 1 of them just got inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame last week, I think. So I guess my number 3, I'm putting them in order, but to me they're in no particular order.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my number 3 currently active is Adam Fox from the New York Rangers. I'm gonna say Adam Fox is my
Absolutely.
current favorite NHL player. For some reason, I gravitate towards defensemen in sports, and I don't know, just his play style just seems so, I don't want to say lackadaisical, because he is good at what he does, and like I don't know the word to describe it. He doesn't really. It doesn't look like he is ever stressed out or ever in a rush to get anywhere. If you watch him skate, he's just like this.
Yeah.
He just sways from side to side as he's skating. Like he's never in a rush to get to where he needs to be, but he's always there when he needs to be there.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's what I've heard people say about him when they're commentating games. Just like he's just never in a hurry.
Yeah.
He takes his time, which works out for him. He this year doesn't have any goals yet in 17 games played, which is kind of a bummer. But he has 15 points and 15 assists, and
playmaker.
He is a playmaker, +4 right now. I was very worried last year when he went down with that ear injury from Sebastian Aho, which was not dirty.
No.
I was upset.
It sucks, though. It's scary.
And I like how that's the first thing that like everyone jumps to is, oh, dirty hit, right. Dirty hit. And like as a Rangers fan watching that, I was like, that's not dirty.
Yeah.
Like, but wrong place, wrong time. Like, it was accidental. Like, it just happened to be where they both collided. And yeah, he went down for 8 to 9 weeks, I think it was something like that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Adam Fox.
It's terrifying when your favorite player goes down like that.
Oh man, when he went down in the playoffs against the Capitals, I screamed at the TV.
Yeah.
I just stood up and just screamed. It's like, no, not again, not again, not
no,
again.
God, no,
not
please,
again.
No.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it was. Scared my cat away. She ran. Yeah, I think he's awesome. Harvard grad, Harvard Crimson.
Heck yeah.
I think he was when he played at Harvard, he was the highest scoring defenseman in the country.
Yeah.
When he played there.
He was drafted first overall, right?
I don't
or
think
was he
so.
second?
He got drafted. I don't know what he got drafted, but he got drafted to the Calgary Flames first.
That's right. Yeah.
And didn't want to play there.
I think he was top 10 at least, right? Like he was pretty high in the pecking order, I feel like. But
I think he was.
And he's playing with Keandre Miller right now, right?
I think he's back with Ryan Lindgren since Lindgren's back.
Okay.
So
I haven't watched the last couple games, but I really did like when he was playing with Keandre. I think that kind of unlocked a new side of Keandre Miller. I just like seeing him with more ice time. So
yeah. I know he was with Keandre for a long time because Ryan Lindgren was out. And then Ryan Lindgren was with Jacob Trouba, who Keandre Miller is usually paired up with. And I think they switched back to those two pairings. But Adam Fox was drafted 66th overall in the 2016 NHL draft.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Won the Norris Trophy in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I know every year it comes down to him, Cale Makar, and others.
Yeah.
So I would like to see him win it again, but I think, one is enough.
Absolutely, yeah.
One's not enough. One is not something to be upset about.
Yeah, and if you're always like either nominated or in contention, I mean, and your partners also have a lot to do with your success too. Like your line, if it's healthy, if you're healthy, you know, there's a lot of factors. But I think Fox has been excellent, so I think that's a fantastic pick. But do you like seeing him with Keandre Miller, or do you prefer Lindgren?
I like both. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I like both Keandre and Ryan Lindgren a lot. I'm a big fan of New York's defense as a whole.
Yeah.
Zach Jones, Jacob Trouba, like all of them. I love them. They're all great. They're all fantastic.
What's his personality like? Is he like a pretty standard, boring hockey player, or is he more animated or in between?
Who, Adam?
Yeah.
Well, I've never met him.
I just mean
so I don't know.
In interviews or whatever, anything you've watched.
He seems pretty cut and dry.
Cut and dry? Yeah.
He seems really cut and dry.
Business.
He's strictly business. It's a Harvard grad.
Yeah.
He
knows his stuff.
He probably knows his stuff. He's probably really smart. I don't know.
I mean, if you go to Harvard, you graduate, I feel like you might know your stuff.
He might, hopefully.
I guess he's
be a waste of your time and money if you didn't.
Absolutely, man. Dang, Adam Fox, huh? So is that your number one? Or you didn't really make a...
Number one active player.
Okay, number one active player.
But the two that come before him are two of the reasons I got into hockey.
Sweet.
Two of the reasons I think defensemen are just awesome.
Yeah.
It just shows. But the other two show toughness and grit.
Yeah.
He's kind of clean cutting. I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean. So.
And he's like similar to Kale in that he's a newer generation of defensemen where your offense is still running through the defense with playmaking.
Yes.
In
exactly.
particular, I mean, he's been dynamic for. I mean, ever since he started, he's been great. So I'm glad he landed with the Rangers and you said Calgary, right?
Yeah. I don't want to say like sound superficial. Say he's really clean cut and dry, but he doesn't like give off the tough guy vibes that the other two people I have do.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, like, because a lot of people have said about Kale he's not very tough, but I mean, he can definitely throw hits, but he just doesn't prefer that.
Oh yeah.
So I wonder if like Adam is similar, where he's focused on the game. Like I'm focused on scoring, focused on playing, because that's how the newer generation seems to be. Whereas like older like veterans seem to be more like, oh, we need to keep that edge, you know, in the game.
Yeah, I think that's more of his play because I don't really see him throw a lot of hits. I try to watch every Rangers game I can, and I don't really see him try to throw a lot of hits, but I mean, he's always there in front of Igor or Quick, and like,
and he's not afraid. Small. He's not small.
Not really. He's not afraid to get in your face if like, you know, you're, you know, doing too much after the play. He's 5'11".
You're right.
5'11", 180.
So he's not like tiny or anything.
And young. He's only 26.
Yeah.
Oh, he was also drafted 3rd round.
3rd round, you say?
3rd round.
Wow. Well, that's quite a steal.
And it's so funny too because from what I read, he was like, no, I want to play at Calgary.
I mean, I get that.
And it's funny, if you watch games where they play in Calgary, anytime his stick is on the puck, he gets booed. If they're in Calgary.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 3, Adam Fox.
I love it. Great pick, man.
Thanks.
He's a GOAT. Speaking of GOATs and people that got selected very low that should have maybe gone number 1 overall, I've got Pavel Datsyuk for my number 3. I mean, he's part of what made me fall in love with hockey when I was my son's age, like just a kid, and just what made like Detroit so awesome to watch. Like he was selected 6th round, 171, a Hall of Famer. He just got inducted recently, like last week, right?
Yeah. But I think it was the week before.
That was 98, so that's when I was born. But that's just shocking. But it was because of his size. Like he was small at the time.
Jeez.
And that happens so much in hockey, right? Like especially back then.
Yeah.
So that was shocking to me. I had no idea. So they call him like, I mean, of course, Detroit fans say he's like the steal of all time, you know. And I would say, yeah, that's fair because that's pretty low in the draft to be a Hall of Famer.
Wow.
I know. So he played from 2001 to 2016. He won 2 Stanley Cups.
Okay.
And he had 3 Selkies. So 3 years in a row, he was Defensive Forward of the Year.
Jesus.
For the NHL. Just a fantastic player. I think last year Barkov won, right? So that's the style of player. Like with, you know, every time he's in his own end, he's responsible, and like that's not super typical of a winger.
Yeah.
So like I love seeing that, and like I said, just this team and the Avs, they were so at odds with each other, but he kind of stayed out of that for the most part, from what I remember. And that's how he won his Lady Bings four times. That's an award for like sportsmanship, and he was just he just brought joy to me. Like they call him the Magic Man. which is cheesy, but I like it because if you watch like the way he handles pucks,
Oh man.
man, he can get around anybody.
Yeah, I saw a thing where like a news reporter was trying to like play with him on the ice, and he just so effortlessly was just making the guy look like breaking his ankles constantly.
Yeah, seriously.
Without even trying.
Yeah, he definitely. I think he is the most impressive, like, as far as puck handling that I've ever seen in hockey. So another thing I really like about him, as far as like his story, he's kind of relatable with like, he had a really hard childhood, and I think sometimes with like these players that make like millions of dollars, and a lot of them go to Ivy League schools, and they're like, you know, you don't really get to connect with them.
Yeah.
He shared that like his mom had died when he was young, and he had a hard childhood, and like to me that just like that spoke to me. You know, it's like it's interesting because he didn't have to share that,
Right.
but like it's interesting to be able to connect with somebody, you know, that you look up to. Also, like, he was only one of 3 players ever to break 150 points in a single season. So, I mean, he's a pretty excellent player.
Jesus.
Detroit has quite a few of these in their history, right?
Yeah.
And he also won a gold medal with Russia in the 2018 Olympics. So, pretty fantastic, right?
Yeah.
You excited for Olympic hockey to come back?
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
Team USA is looking pretty solid.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Solid.
I'd say so, and I don't even think Russia is allowed to play in the Olympics right now, are they?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think so. So one thing that like I just wanted to read really quick because I think it characterizes like Datsuk the best. It comes from Jonathan Quick, so
Okay.
Rangers backup goalie right now.
Yeah.
And longtime King goalie, obviously won.
My favorite U.S. born goalie.
Yeah, fantastic. So he said, I'd call Datsuk a master chess player. As a goalie, your nightmare is when the puck carrier has multiple options. Datsuk has a knack for seeing the entire ice, holding onto the puck until space opens up, and he has a couple different plays he can make. He kind of stretches you and forces you to get caught in the middle of taking away the shot or taking away the pass. So you have to commit or you're toast. It's a 50-50 gamble sometimes with him. And like, obviously as a goalie, you're seeing all the play unfold, and to have a player come at you with that kind of puck handling and speed, and they're that defensive, like, man. So that's what made him like my number 3 overall.
Okay.
So yeah, man.
My number 2 is my number 2 is Duncan Keith.
Absolutely.
Defenseman, alternative captain for.
I'm shocked.
Are you? For the Chicago Blackhawks. Left to go to Edmonton, which I don't know if he's officially retired yet. I just don't think he's playing right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully he retires a Blackhawk. I saw he's been coming back for like all of the award ceremonies they do at the United Center for Blackhawks players. He's been back for those. I think he came back for the Marian Hossa one that was last year, I believe.
Okay.
But he was drafted in 2002, 54th overall in the second round. He was just so fun to watch. One of my favorite things I remember about him was in the 2013, I think it was, the 2013 Stanley Cup playoffs, where I think it was that one, where he took a puck off his face and he lost 6 teeth and he went off to the bench.
Classic.
To numb his gums in his mouth and just shoved gauze in his mouth and went back out.
That's insane.
And like if you look up a picture, it's of him at the ceremony. He's just smiling and all of his front teeth are gone. All of them gone. I think he said in total he's lost 10 teeth.
Oh
So
my gosh, dude.
that man,
He's embarked.
yeah, he is. He played college hockey at Michigan State for 2 years.
Okay. Your favorite college?
Ugh. Played there for 2 years. I think he's won the Norris as well.
He's American, right?
He is Canadian. He's from
He is?
Winnipeg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
He played for Canada in the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And he was on their gold medal winning team in 2014. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of his accolades here. Oh, he has 2 gold medals for the Olympics, for Sochi and Vancouver.
Yeah.
And silver with Team Canada for a World Championship.
Excellent player, like part of the Blackhawks like dynasty, I'd say, right?
I would say so. I hope he comes back and retires a Blackhawk.
Yeah.
Maybe hang that number 2 up in the rafters. He's got cups. He's got a Conn Smythe trophy.
Mm-hmm. I remember the Conn Smythe. Yeah, that's
He
always cool when a defenseman wins that, right?
Yeah, he scored the cup-winning goal, and won the Conn Smythe in the same year, 2008.
Which team was that against in 2008?
I think it was it Philly? I think it was Philadelphia.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Gotcha.
I could be very, very wrong.
Yeah.
Why don't you look it up real quick?
But like, what did you? So it was mostly like just his excellent play that like endeared you to him, or was it like his grit, his personality?
His grit, his personality. I don't know. He was just fun to watch.
Yeah.
He just seems like a tough guy. Not afraid to throw down. Not afraid to stand up for his people. It's kind of a bummer that he played at Michigan State, but that's just me being
being petty, huh?
That's me being petty, but that's fine.
Pittsburgh Penguins
was
the
Philadelphia. I think was 2013.
Honestly, I totally forgot that you guys played the Penguins in a final.
Apparently, I did too.
Yeah, man.
This sounds so uneducated.
Oh man, I mean, it was a long time ago, right? You've slept a lot since then.
Yeah, I've had a lot of sleep since then.
Yeah, for sure. You'd be a sleepy boy.
2013 was against Boston. That was the one for 17 seconds.
Yeah.
Where they scored twice in 17 seconds. Wow.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, I've slept a lot since then. I'm sorry.
So was he was on all of the cup teams, right? As far as the last few cups.
I believe so, yeah. Last few.
Yeah, like didn't you win 3 cups in
2015 was the last one, bro.
No.
They ain't going anywhere.
No, I don't mean like the last 3 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they ain't going anywhere near another one.
Didn't they have 3 cups between like 2000 and 2013 or something?
I believe so.
Yeah. Was he like more of a defensive defenseman, or was he pretty offensive for that time?
I remember him being both.
Okay.
Like I said, I got into hockey late.
Yeah.
And started paying attention even later. So honestly, that might be a little more difficult to answer, because I don't really remember.
Yeah.
I'm very late to the game of hockey. I'm getting deeply into it like I am now.
Yeah.
Before it was just, oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this is cool. And then after, that's what it was for the longest time.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with just like being casually into hockey.
No. That's how you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I did start. 2010 was against the Philadelphia Flyers. 2013 was against the Boston Bruins. 2015 was Tampa Bay Lightning.
And he like retired after that, right? Because I thought he was with them all.
He got the one in 15. He was there for that. He went to Edmonton, I think 2 seasons ago.
That's right.
Because he wanted to be closer to his son, who still lived in Canada.
Is he still active?
I don't think so. That's what I was saying earlier. I don't think
remember.
he's officially retired. He's just not
Okay.
playing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Good old Blackhawks.
Good old Blackhawks, man. I miss them.
Yeah.
I still love them dearly.
That was a good team.
I still love them dearly, but
Despite the history,
it
was a good,
yeah.
just on the ice team.
Yeah.
But
bring it back, please.
all right, man. So my number 2. Speaking of like more an era where I wasn't like really paying attention to stats, but I can tell you for sure, like whether you're casual or paying attention to all that nerding out about hockey, Carey Price.
Oh yeah.
Definitely stood out as my favorite goalie of all time, which is like kind of sacrilegious to say as an Avalanche fan.
Sure.
With Patrick Waugh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But Carey had the personality too that
Yeah.
I liked. He's actually like the winningest goaltender in Canadiens history, which is saying something because that's an original 6 team. Like they've had some great goalies on that team, right? But he's the best.
Yeah.
Never won a cup, but
That's
came
unfortunate.
really close, and that was a cool season. Like him just dragging the Canadiens to the Stanley Cup final when like they weren't even considered like to make the playoffs, if I remember right. Like that team wasn't that good. A lot of people didn't think they were going to make it, but that's what happens when you have an elite goaltender.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, he had 361 wins. Played from 2007 to 2022. Technically still active, still being paid, but unfortunately he's having some hard times right now. I think with mental health and had some addiction issues.
Who's his contract under?
He's still with Montreal.
Okay.
But I've noticed that a lot with Montreal fans. Makes me kind of sad. I think like Canadian markets like Montreal and Toronto can be really hard on players.
Oh yeah.
Like just that pressure. It's crazy.
I feel like every fan base can be hard on teams too. Like you read Reddit or something after a team loses and people are just making gross accusations and just like just jumping to outlandish conclusions about why a team lost and blaming other players. It's weird.
100%.
It's really weird.
Like Nazem Kadri in that book he talked about when he was on Toronto. He talked about like being followed by agents. Like when he was like in the system, they would like follow him around and like keep track of what he's doing.
Why?
Because Canadian teams are like, or at least back then, they were very controlling, and the media is super like quick to jump on anything you do, and they're like, oh, well, I saw he was eating at McDonald's, so that's not going to go well for the next game, huh?
So agents like the feds, like
no, like people associated with the team or working for the team.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's wild.
Anyway, went off a tangent there, but yeah, Canadian markets, they'll get you, especially to our beloved Carey. I feel bad, but I think he'll come back. I just hope for him as a person, you know.
How old is he?
That's a great question. I have no idea, but
Got you.
I know he started in 2007. And goalies, it's hard to tell because goalies can start late. Like he started playing at the age of 9, which is kind of shocking because like most.
He's 37. So he's 2 years older than me.
Okay. Most hockey players start at like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Sometimes younger. But yeah, his dad taught him like on a creek, just like a frozen creek. And his dad was a goalie too, which is awesome. Like, I love legacies like that when you can like hand that down and see through the generations, like hockey players. So yeah, he definitely like he's beloved by like most fans, I think. Like
I'm a big fan.
I can't think of anybody that doesn't like him. I'm sure there are some people.
Probably Boston.
Probably Boston.
Yeah.
But yeah, just known for his like incredible athletic saves and literally being a brick wall. I think every year except for his last year where he was struggling and only played a few games, he posted above a 900. Playing most of the season, I believe he was 917 or something like that average. So just solid. And if you can get a goaltender that's that reliable for that many years, yeah, you can get some crazy bad teams to like a good place. So yeah. He also won a gold medal in the Olympics in 2014. And another awesome fact about him I didn't know is that his mom is a chief of a First Nation. So you'll see him, like, Canada has a lot of like Indigenous people.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of stuff with like the youth, the Indigenous youth, and I mean I just wouldn't have guessed it with the name Price, but I think that's super awesome, and it's cool seeing like hockey players with a cause. That's another thing I like about. I like to like the person too, not just the player.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It helps that they're also a good person.
Yeah,
it helps
definitely, and we don't always know, but like
it's true.
It's still cool when you can see that outward stuff. Like that's what hockey's all about to me. Is like first of all like fun stories, but secondly like what they can give back. Like I said with his dad, like teaching him the game and obviously the joy that he had for so many years playing and the joy he brought us as fans.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, that's my guy. That's my goalie.
That's your fella.
Yeah. So I got a goalie in there. I didn't know. I was like, should I just do skaters but I had to throw him in there.
Picking a favorite goalie is hard because I honestly can't tell you if I have one.
Yeah.
I'd have to think a while. I have to go back through some records and look around to see what's out there.
For sure, man.
Okay, so my number one, someone that is an enemy by proxy to you, Shea Weber.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Jordan Bennington.
Oh God!
I know you.
Just kidding, Jordan. We love you. Shea. Just kidding. Hey, come on the show. Come talk to us.
Sure.
Come talk to us about why you're so mean.
Yeah, J-Ben.
Yeah, J-Ben. Let's do this. So my number one, Shea Weber, another defenseman, drafted by Nashville in 2003, 49th overall pick in the second round. This guy, watching the hits that man laid out on people.
Yeah.
Watching him not be afraid to drop the gloves.
Oh, definitely Shea.
Not be afraid to just beat you down if you crossed him or his team any sort of way. Remember one of my favorite videos I've ever seen of him, is in a Colorado Nashville game where Landeskog laid out a hit on someone and Shea Weber was there with his gloves off before his teammate even hit the ground.
I respect it.
He's not afraid to just he wasn't afraid to lay a beat down.
For sure.
And there was another one I saw where it was against Matt Cook. I think it was when he played for, I want to say he was when he played for Minnesota. He was just egging Shea on from behind, like hit him with the back of the stick, and Shea Weber just turned around and started beating him down, and he's like grabbing onto his jersey and his leg to like get away from him, and he just laid him out. And he wasn't like one of those dirty tough guys either.
Right.
I mean, he also had stats to back it up. He played 1,038 games, 224 goals, 365 assists, ending him at 589 points, and a plus 79.
Wow. So he did have over 1,000 games.
He did.
That's what I thought.
And I think his contract is currently owned by Utah.
Oh, so he's
for some reason, technically.
Okay.
But
he was on that Canadiens team, right?
He was on the Canadiens playoff team.
Heck yeah.
He was the one who had to be held away by refs from killing Mark Scheifele on that hit on Jake Evans.
That's where I fell in love with him, was that cup run. So.
Dude, he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was awesome. And 6'4", 230 pounds, that's a big boy.
It's a menace.
That's a menace.
Yeah.
And then also, I was watching the All-Star game when he won the hardest shot that year, which I think was 2015. And his shot was 100, where is it? 108 miles per hour, 108.5. So seamlessly, so effortlessly, like he brought that arm back and just was gone. Whew. Imagine taking that off the dome.
Yeah.
He was
crazy player.
I think the only person, Zdeno Chara has the record by like half a mile. I think his was 109.
I love Chara.
But I could be wrong.
Epic player, man.
Shea Weber was great. I also, I was already a big fan of his, but like when he was like, again, when he went after Mark Scheifele for laying out Jake Evans for no reason, this is
Is Jake Evans defenseman, forward?
I think he's a forward.
Okay.
Notre Dame grad.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Zdeno Chara barely has him beat. 0.3 miles. Under an 8.8.
That's crazy, man. I mean, I can't imagine. I don't think I could throw a puck at more than like 50.
I couldn't throw him harder than 2, probably, to be honest
Well,
with you.
I mean, it's got the flex, you know.
I'd pull a
and
Brad.
It's
I'd pull a Brad Marchand and whiff it.
Well, yeah, me too. Yeah.
Just completely glaze over it. Yeah.
I was talking earlier to you about how, like, you said this is a left-handed stick up here, right?
Yeah.
And I was saying how, I can't imagine playing with that or just being good at hockey in general, because I can't do anything with my left hand. I'm like handicapped.
Skate.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
Skating's not easy.
I'm afraid.
It's definitely a challenge when you got, we got sticks and skates, and we're all flying around the ice at incredible speed, and we're hitting each other, and there's dudes putting their sticks between your legs trying to take the puck. Yeah, it's hard to stay up and hard to use both hands. Like, there are defensemen and wingers that'll play both sides, and I'm like, how?
Yeah,
How are you doing that?
I wouldn't be able to make it off the bench onto the ice.
Yeah.
I'd be like, just trying to get off. Like, no, I'm falling.
Yeah, I couldn't do half of what like a Shea Weber does with the shot with my dominant hands.
So it would take me weeks to work up to skating, and like more after holding a stick and doing something while skating.
Sure. Yeah.
Shea Weber also has 3 gold medals and 1 silver from his 2 Olympics and his 2 World Championship appearances.
I can't wait for the Olympics to come back.
Dude, it's gonna be so good.
NHL players to get back in it.
I'm almost certain he has some Conn Smythes and
Shea Weber?
He has had some Conn Smythes and some
okay.
Norris's under his belt as well.
I would definitely imagine a Norris with like a player that incredible. I mean, it was really fun to watch him. Like I said, I fell in love with him when he was on the Habs, but he was quite a menace too. So while I respected it,
he doesn't have a Norris.
Doesn't have a Norris?
He finished second, losing to Lindstrom.
Oh, so like a decent hockey player?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was okay.
And he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, so, I mean.
Shea Weber, you mean?
Yeah, last week.
With Datsuk.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I find it funny, like, players that are like, oh, they don't deserve to be in there. I'm like, did you ever watch that player? I think you're just saying that because you didn't like the team. Because Shea Weber was definitely incredible, whether you like him or not. There is like an objective thing. Like, you and I have talked about like players that they're gritty and they're they throw dirty hits and stuff, but they don't have the play to back it up. Like you
Yeah.
said, with him, definitely had that under his belt.
Yeah.
So you have to respect it, whether you like it or not.
He's not a Ryan Reeves or,
Right.
you know. So I don't know. I'm a big fan, and I would definitely say he's like the player that like got me super into hockey, like even more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just watching someone like again. You're more into like the stats and like the technical stuff on the hockey side that I'm still trying to learn. Me, I like the action, like the in the moment and stuff, and like just seeing him not be afraid to lay people out and also do his job was awesome.
Totally get that. I mean, everyone can like hockey however they want. Just want to clarify that. Like,
oh, absolutely. You enjoy it how you want to.
You do not have to like all the numbers, and you don't have to like, you know, just one team.
Right.
There's too much gatekeeping in this sport.
Absolutely.
You like this sport however you can like it because they're cute. You can whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Who cares? Have fun.
And the multiple things too. Multiple teams thing too.
Yeah.
Like as many as you want. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Absolutely, man. We just want the joy of hockey.
We just love hockey. We're just a couple of hockey fellas. Just a couple guys. I don't think he won anything. I might be wrong. I could have sworn he had a Conn-Smythe.
Well, I don't think so. Was he with Vegas during their cup, or was he with them before?
His contract was under Vegas though.
Okay, because
he didn't go there.
Yeah, he was Preds. They didn't win the cup with him, did they?
No.
I know they did have one cup. Okay.
No. And not with Montreal either. See, I don't know anything. I don't know how trophies are rewarded. Norris, that one I get. That one I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's for best defenseman. I don't know what's a Conn-Smythe.
Voted for by media too, so it's always an interesting.
Yeah, because their opinion matters.
If I'm not mistaken, it's Norris and Hart that are media voted, but then you've got some player voted ones, which I like the player voted ones. That's cool.
So the Conn-Smythe is awarded to the most valuable player of his team during the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs. He's been to the playoffs though. But do you have to win?
Yeah. Oh no! Because Connor McDavid just got it.
Poor
and
guy.
He still lost.
See, that's why I was confused. I could have sworn. Well, I guess not.
Yeah.
Hey, he has gold medals. That works.
Yeah, for sure. No, still, you don't have to win a cup to be a great player. I mean,
no.
We'll have to do a whole
Look
separate
at all of them
episode
out there.
on like Joe Thornton. And,
oh yeah.
Just players, Ingela, I think, players that were so incredible but never got the cup, and McDavid's next.
Carey Price. Austin Matthews is also going to be next, sadly.
Yep. Unless,
we think nothing against our neighbors in the north. We just think all Canadian hockey teams are cursed.
Yeah.
We love you. We truly do believe in you, and we want you to do well.
Facts.
But we are rooting for you. Just know that.
I think Montreal has the best chance. I really do. In the future, not in right now. They're terrible right now.
We applaud your belief and your enthusiasm. We truly do. We're right there with you, but that's all I'm gonna say.
If we're taking out the superstition or just the feeling, then Edmonton clearly has the edge right now. Like they were just there, right? But there's just something about it that I'm just like, they're not gonna get it. I don't know why, but Toronto's definitely that way, right? But
you got someone or something in that state keeping you from winning
for sure. Was Shea Weber Canadian?
Yes.
Okay, sorry if you mentioned that, but I couldn't remember.
I did not. I don't remember where.
Not a lot of hockey players from Canada, huh?
Yeah, none.
Absolutely none.
He's from
Manitoba.
British Columbia. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know how to say this word. Sycamus.
Oh yeah. Sycamus.
Yeah, Sycamus. Sycamus.
Yeah, the classic Sycamus. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Oh, you're up. Who's your number one?
My number one.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna close my eyes and then change your screen.
Mikko Rantanen, baby. So I had to I had to throw in an Av. You know, he's my
Sure.
favorite player of all time. And yes, like, I mean, Joe Sakic's right there with him, Cale Makar, you know, but I can't just fill this all with Avalanche.
No.
So
You could.
yeah, I could, but he's a right winger. He's known for his one-timer from the point. That's a lot of what made me fall in love with him. Is he's a sniper. He's an absolute sniper. There is pretty much no defense to his game, but he's an elite offensive talent. I love watching him. He's Finnish, obviously. You know, Rantanen. So kind of adding to that whole Finnish crew that's really getting kind of stacked right now. I'm excited to see them in the.
Dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. So actually, he just had another hat trick, so it's his second one of this year. Now
This year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now he's the fourth highest Finnish player for hat tricks. A hat trick's when you score 3 goals in a game. Most of those are natural, which means none were empty netters. He just has that shot that can beat any goaltender pretty much whenever he feels like it. It feels like that. You know those players that just like, you're just like, he's going to score. Like, he's at the point, someone left him unguarded for a second, he's going to score.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So he's only behind, as far as active Finnish players, he's behind Patrick Laine by 1 hat trick. So he has 9 hat tricks. And then there's like Solani and Jari Kurri, you know, greatest Finnish players of all time. So he's definitely ascending those ranks, playing with Cale and McKinnon. Obviously gets into playmaking. That makes that available, but you can bet on an Avalanche power play. If you are doing sports bets, which I don't recommend.
No.
We had a friend who loves those, but I told him, if you insist, this is the guy. I told him they were going to face Vegas. I said, if you insist, bet on him, and sure enough, he did score a couple. So
this man blew up our phones on who do I bet on? 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 And if he lost, oh Lord.
Yeah. Man, he let us have it. But yeah, I think like I see the same thing in my son when he watches him, but like you hear like so much of hockey is a story, right? So you hear the commentator like, the moose is loose, Miko landed in, you know, and my son's just like, yeah. So like seeing that in him, that's what like really made me, that's my favorite player, because he's brought that much joy. So especially against Vegas, he's lethal against Vegas. So but we talked about like players with personality too.
Yeah.
Man, he's a goofball. He's so silly. He's got an accent, you know, he's Finnish, and he loves just like, he's not like Draisaitl where he's like mean in interviews, but he definitely loves throwing some curveballs in there.
Man.
You know, he likes being sarcastic and messing with other people during interviews. And
I love Draisaitl interviews.
yeah, they're hilarious. Anyway, he also like, Mikko can be feisty. I like that too. Like him and McKinnon, you'll see him breaking sticks and like screaming at the refs. I mean, I like sportsmanship or competitiveness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I do enjoy that. Yeah,
it's passion.
It comes across as like cocky, which hockey seems to like shame. Like they shun it or something. Like they're like, oh, don't be cocky. Don't be well. I think the newer generation is more like, well, you know what? Like, I'm confident in myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like refs aren't calling it right, you know? So, I like it sometimes. Yeah, I like that energy.
Yeah, like, as long as you can back it up.
Exactly.
If you can back it up, be as cocky as you want.
Yeah. If they're yelling about something, like, stupid, of course, I don't care who the player is. I'm like, yeah, just let it go, you know? But
yeah.
There are times where I'm like, yeah, I'd be screaming too.
Yeah. And like, there are times too where like you said, cockiness is stupid and like unnecessary. Most of the time I think it's funny. Like I'll think it's funny if it's just silly or if the person can't back it up. But like if you can back up what you're saying and how you're acting, I'm all here for it. I think it makes the
Absolutely.
game spicier. I'm here for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So he obviously won the cup with the Avalanche a couple of years ago, in 2022, and he had 2 100-point seasons. I think 105 last year, and 100. Yeah, 105 2 years ago, 101 last year, something like that. But obviously, stacking up those good point totals.
Yeah.
And the 105 came when everyone's like, "Oh, McKinnon carries him." McKinnon was gone like a third of that season, so he kind of drove the bus. The year that they lost to Seattle, the forwards were like depleted with injury, and he's proven kind of like Draisaitl that like, hey, I don't need McDavid, I don't need McKinnon, I'm still good on my own.
Yeah.
Like, right now he's playing with Casey Middlestat, which is cool. Seeing like a change up there.
Love Casey Middlestat.
Yeah. Fantastic player.
Yeah.
But definitely solidifying himself as someone I think will be a future Hall of Famer. So.
All right.
Yeah, man. So you had 3 defensemen.
Yeah.
I had 2 forwards and a goalie.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a fun combo.
Yeah. Probably should change mine up a little bit.
That's okay.
I will also go back, rewind to Adam Fox. We were talking about personalities.
Yeah.
He's in Dunkin' commercials in New York. That's funny, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Heck yeah.
I think it's Dunkin'. Einstein Bagels. It's one of, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Is it like one of the goofy ones too?
They're silly, yeah.
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 I love it.
It's,
I love
it's
when NHL
commercial
players,
attempts to be funny.
I mean, at least they're doing something.
Yeah.
Because the NHL is just notoriously like boring.
I think
For
it's Einstein
personality.
Bagels. Pretty sure.
Heck yeah.
I don't want to be Googling the entire time.
So is there anybody like honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions.
Yeah, anybody you wanted to put in here or you thought about? I was gonna say Sidney Crosby. I didn't want to put it in my extended one just because, like, of course, you know, one of the greatest hockey players of all time.
Yeah.
Iconic Pittsburgh Penguin. Won a couple cups. Yeah, I guess he's decent. He's an okay player. Captain.
Yeah.
Grew up with Nathan McKinnon. They play together. They're friends. Love to see him go to the Avalanche.
Yeah.
Just a dream. Not gonna happen, but man, it's sad to see the Penguins crashing right now because of players like him and Malkin that really made me just, again, like, kept my love of hockey through that terrible Avalanche sector where they were really bad. And I mean, I've always watched like the Flyers and like now Seattle, but the Penguins were my go-to. That Penguins and Wings rivalry, quote unquote, was fun.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that. But yeah, Sid the Kid.
I'm gonna pick 2 for my honorable mention.
Okay.
Just because they're my favorite duo to watch on the ice with the same team, and they're 2 more Rangers players. Chris Kreider, yeah, Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad.
Yeah.
Watching their chemistry is insane.
Yeah.
They play off of each other so well. They're on the same page at all times.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things too where like they'll be interviewed after a game, after a win. They're like, so what were you thinking when you looked over and you saw Chris wide open? He's like, well, we've been playing together for 8 years. Like, he's like, I knew where he was gonna be. Like,
automatic, right?
It's incredible. And like, I think I actually I had to do something for work, where I had to pick a leadership skill and a good leader for something. It's bad at remembering that too. And I picked Chris Kreider.
Yeah.
And because of his like how he plays the game.
Yeah.
And his always being there for his teammates, and like I like watching him at the end, like whether they're walking off to go out in between halves or at the end of the game, just giving everybody a fist bump as they walk off the ice. He's just the first person there to catch everybody before they leave, and yeah, I'm a big fan of both Mika and Chris Kreider.
Yeah. Said it once, I'll say it again. Mika's my favorite Ranger. So
he's incredible. He's awesome.
His awesome hair, his fantastic moves. I think he's pretty fast. Like I think think he's all right.
Yeah.
He's an okay hockey player.
They were talking about him too early in the season, where like he didn't score his first goal till, as they said, late in the season.
Yeah.
But it's because he gives up his chance to other people for them to score. Which it's very, very selfless, which I don't know. Like when you're him, you don't need to be that way.
Yeah.
But he just chooses like, hey, it's all about all these guys too. It's not about just me.
Even like tons of Rangers fans were dunking on him, and I'm like, are you watching this? Because I'm not primarily a Rangers fan, although I love watching him. And to me, playing just fine. Like, yeah, you do want to see him produce goals, though.
Yeah.
Because he is a goal scorer. But, I mean, it's working.
Right.
Don't have to fix something.
Well, it's like you and I talk about, like, our biggest annoyance when we go to games is people shouting, shoot the puck, the puck, when there's not an opportunity or a window to shoot the puck. They're always going to see something you don't see. So.
Yeah, and, like, I don't ever want to forget when we're talking that as much as like I get mad when a player makes his play or whatever, but I've never come close to professional hockey.
Right.
And I feel like the media really gets out of touch with that sometimes.
I'm
and just
not out there.
General fans, it's like, don't forget, like, this sport's hard.
Yeah, you're not out there playing.
Yeah, people make mistakes.
Yeah.
You never know. Like, it's okay. It's just a game. Like Brizgalov or whatever says, don't be mad. It's only game. Why are you so mad? He's like a Russian goaltender. I love that quote because it really like hits home with this point that like just relax. Like these are great players. It's just a game. Everyone in the NHL who's ever made it there was excellent somewhere, even if they weren't in the NHL. So.
They also didn't start off the best.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, Mika, Chris. We're just going to loop them together.
Absolutely.
And Artemi Panarin. I don't ever want to forget Artemi Panarin.
All right, so 3.
Red man. Sorry. Oh, you only had 1.
That's okay.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. No, I really didn't plan a lot of honorable mentions.
Off the dome, say one.
I kind of mentioned some throughout, like Joe Sakic.
Sure.
You know, if I had to do another wing, it would probably be Lindstrom.
Okay.
I mean, again,
good pick.
He's okay. Yeah,
he's fine.
He was decent, I guess, but Cale Makar. Of course.
Solani.
Dude. Solani, man. Just that year he was with the Avs. Just took 1 year. And I was just like.
Yari Curry.
Wow. Of course. Yeah, Finnish. You know, I love my Finns.
Yeah.
I love my Finns. Ingela. I don't know how to say his name, but I do love him. Yeah. So, yep. And Nazem Kadri obviously said that. So.
Yeah.
There you go. Throw in some.
I was like 40 of them.
Yeah. Just.
Our 40 top
Shotgun.
3 picks. Yeah.
Yeah. let's just redo the whole title.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bunch of players we like. But
yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to get out to some games soon.
Yeah. I think the only one we have planned so far is the 14th of December in Bloomington, Illinois.
Oh, we got the Comets coming up too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna see Denver. With Western Michigan. We're going to try to see another Western Michigan game at some point. Got to get back to an ND game, too.
Yeah. It's just hard. We both work full-time jobs. He has a kid, so, like, our free time is very, very limited, and it's spent doing this. So, we're putting more stuff out, which we've been stressing out what we're doing, but we're going to try to get out to more.
Yeah. We both got some stuff to release right now. We're excited about like doing this, like when we get to sit down and do this, and I mean I love just kind of rekindling all this like excitement about hockey. I've been impressed by like all the people reaching out saying, well, this is cool you're doing this, and like we said earlier, Josh helping us out so much.
Shout out Josh again.
Yeah.
The feedback has been awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. I'm just thankful to be doing this, seriously.
Same, finally.
Like, if anybody listens at all, I'm happy to just share that with them.
Yeah. It's been awesome. It's been all I think about every day since we started doing it.
Me too.
I'm out trying to do stuff, and sometimes the creative spark isn't always there, and I don't feel like doing something, but it's like, no, you got to, because once you start, you can't stop.
Yeah, I get that. It's motivating, too.
is very motivating. I'm a fan.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. This has been fun, man.
It has been fun.
We should keep doing this. What do you think?
We should do this again, actually. Yeah.
This felt like a little bit more natural.
I would agree. This one felt far more natural
Yeah,
than the first
I
one.
feel like we had some fun, you know? So, we'll keep coming at you with some fresh content. We'll keep diving in, you know? Just getting pucks in deep and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know? What are some other hockey cliches?
Hat trick.
Yeah, well, these were our hat trick players. They're top 3. You know?
Icing.
Yeah.
Offsides.
Okay. So, absolutely.
Delay of game, high sticking. Boarding. Fight for fighting.
Getting on the pee-pee.
Power play.
Yes.
Oof.
Well, it's common. You know, you say pee-pee, you say D. It's defense, power play. You know, these are common hockey terms. You know, we had a big pee-pee. It's big power play. All right, it's appropriate. It's completely normal. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man, I hear you loud and clear.
Good. Better be. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you hopefully next week.